obviously we were very pleased with the first half and not so pleased with the second half for a variety of reasons in the second half. I'm an optimist, a glass half full person, so we'll focus on the positive. 21 assists on 30 buckets is a great number. I think Paige Cannon in the last 2 games might be our MVP. She's an absolute warrior. A double-double tonight with 3 assists and no turnovers, 2 blocks and 2 steals, and just a fantastic night. But a lot of people played well. Kadri had 11 and 8, 3 blocks and 3 assists on 8 shots. And, Chas and Yutza, 19 and 21 respectively. Chas was 5-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, which I really like to see. Rodman and a Kukuter with 15 rebounds. Probably 4 of them were her own missed shot that she rebounded again. But still, anytime you get 15 rebounds, that's a heck of a night in that regard. That people are going to say that wasn't clean. We didn't play as well in the second half. We need to give some credit to a good St. Francis team. I expect St. Francis to compete for the league championship in the NEC. They have some kids on their team that are local, or in Kaieja Dooling's case, played here at Duquesne, and I'm sure that they wanted to show their abilities and really get after us, and they did. And Joe does a nice job there. Joe does a really nice job at St. Francis. So we're not totally happy. We're not where we need to be. But again, it's not even December. A lot of good contributions.
Looking at everything, the game plan probably was to limit 23 and 34 their scores, especially on the three-point line. What success maybe do you find from that tonight?
Sometimes I think people just get cold and don't make shots, and I think they didn't make shots. Ball didn't go in the basket for them. I don't think we played great defensively. I thought we were solid defensively, and that certainly played a part. They didn't get a lot of clean looks at the basket, so that's good team defense. And we played very good team defense in the first half. You could even say that we played very good team defense in the fourth quarter to a certain degree late. But that third quarter really kind of screwed up how we defended for the game. Way too much dribble penetration, way too many times of putting them on the free throw line in the third quarter especially.
First 5.5 minutes probably couldn't have gone any better. You executed the game plan. You had Connor taking charge. Bodies were being sacrificed. Open passes. Just what was the happiness maybe with the execution of the scout, holding them scoreless for 5.5 minutes?
Yeah, you feel really good about that. It reminds me a lot of the Dayton game where we went up very, very big in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and it's when you really throw a couple punches at people and you really stun your opponent, and we certainly did that today. Everything kind of went right in those first, and I believe it was us. I thought we executed really well. We're a very hard team to stop when you get us in a half-court situation and we're executing. We execute very, very well in the half-court, and major props to our players, but also to our offensive coordinator, Matt Schmidt. We run some really terrific stuff, and that's Matt.
The road was very, very consistently traveled for you guys to start the season. Just what maybe did you see from your ladies that transpired during that time that really clicked maybe for this home stretch now that's beneficial for this home stretch?
I think we've got 4 or 5 kids that we can count on, and we know what they're going to. 4 kids that we know that we can count on, for we know what they're going to be able to give us from a production standpoint, a statistical standpoint. And then I think we really found out in November that we have a lot of young kids that don't have experience. That's freshmen, and that's red shirts. So, when we talk about a player who's been in the program for 3 years, like Paige Cannon and a Kukuter, those 2 kids didn't play as freshmen, and they redshirted last year. So, their opportunities this year as sophomores, this is really the first time they've played in college basketball. And you can't be any happier with what they're giving us. Paige, from a complete perspective, has been a warrior, especially in these last 2 games, but she's great at reversing the ball and playing within herself. She's rebounded it like crazy. Paige I can't say enough positive things about her. And then, Eniku plays 19 minutes and has 15 rebounds. I think we don't realize Eniku's averaging 9 rebounds, 10 rebounds a game. She's got to be in the top 5 in the league. And I can guarantee none of those other kids are playing only 19 minutes a game, because that's about her average. What we found out about on the road is we've got to play a better fourth quarter. That cost us in our 2 losses, and that really bit us. And that's not just playing; that's also coaching. I thought we could have done a better job, and that falls on me in our 2 losses. But to go on the road with the majority of your team being young, and finish the month at what are we, 6-2? You have to feel good about that, and we'll enjoy it till midnight. As I always like to say, we'll enjoy it till midnight, because the clock's going to strike and it's going to be December, and December's a little bit different. You have a really good Toledo basketball team coming to us, Akron, who is always well coached. You obviously have that school called UConn that we'll be playing, and Central Michigan is a terrific basketball team also. So we have some really difficult games in our non-conference schedule, and tonight was good that we could be able to share some minutes and share some time, especially with a 1-day turnaround before we play Central Connecticut State. But we've got to get a little bit more consistency from Helmy. She had a bad night tonight, and we're just going to leave it at that. I want to say this right now. I think Helmy, before she's done, could be the best player in our league. But tonight wasn't her night, and hopefully that won't rent space in her head, and she'll be able to recover from that and have a better game against Central Connecticut.
In the opener, you mentioned you wanted to focus on the positives, so I'm going to focus on the not so positive.
Okay.
The 20 rebounds offensive given up and the 21 turnovers. What would you say the rationale is for that, and maybe more than that with the second half based on both of those? Maybe Kaisha getting 11 offensive.
Well, when you break it down into 2 parts, they got 20 offensive rebounds. Kaisha really was the one who got all the offensive rebounds. The rest of them, you're talking about 4 rebounds maybe total from the rest of the team. So really, we didn't stop Kai, but there's a reason why I recruited Kai, because I knew Kai was a dang good basketball player. I wish, and I told her this when we were leaving, I said, I wish she had never left. I love Kaisha Dooling. She left, and she's had a good career there, and I'm really proud of her. I'm really happy for her, because she's playing the minutes that she wants to play, and she may not have been able to do that here. I think it's a lack of attention to detail with that. We didn't block out well, but also they play a system where they're going to shoot a lot of threes and they're going to have long rebounds, and she's very adept at that because she practiced that every single day, and so she's pretty good at positioning her body to go for those long rebounds, and she almost allows herself to be boxed out because she knows that rebound's going to probably go over our person who's boxing out's head, and she's going to come up with that, and that's very evident by the stat. From a turnover standpoint, obviously that's disappointing. I got after Yutza a little bit. Yutza had an okay game, but she can't have 5 turnovers. There was a couple times when we had drives that Connor made that didn't count as turnovers, but we didn't like those. Libby had 5 turnovers. We just one of those nights where you're going to have a couple more turnovers because of the pace of the game and the high possession that you're going to face. But at the end of the day, you can't have 21 turnovers and have consistent success, especially when you look at our turnover ratio throughout the season. It's been a little bit too high. Now, it's a little bit too high because it's November. We've been on the road. We're incorporating new people. We're learning about ourselves. I think there's a little bit of that. But for us to have success, we've got to be around 12 or 13.
To empty the bench the way you did both halves, and not just empty the bench, but to have only 2 of your starters have a 3 as the first number in their minutes, how important do you look at that aspect of it?
every kid that gets in the game for us deserves to play, and they deserve to be coached really hard, whether you're playing at the beginning of the game or at the end of the game. And that's one of the things I really try to emphasize to my coaching staff. We got to coach them. Frankly, AP hit the 3, but I was disappointed in her play. She's only looking for hers when she could have hit Kirsten in the corner and made an open shot. AP hasn't played a lot of basketball, but once we get her some more minutes over the course of her career, I think she's going to be fine. But right now, she's got to play better when she's in there. Kirsten Elliott is going to play some more minutes for us with Amanda Kalin out. Kirsten's going to play spot minutes, and she did what she was supposed to do. She missed the 3s that I think she typically hits, but I thought she defended well. She made her free throws. She cut a couple rebounds in 6 minutes, and that's what she's going to be for us this year. She's going to be that cleanup kid that gives us a little bit. Judy, she picked up 2 fouls. One, she tried to take the charge. I can live with that one, but the second one, she pushed a kid, and she clearly did. All she had to do was just go up straight up and come up with the rebound. Judy's happy to play. And I'm happy to play Judy. But I don't want Judy to play happy. I want Judy to play with a level of intensity, and I don't think we've seen that. And that's something that I have to address with her because I want Judy to be able to play. I want to be able to count on her to give us a couple minutes.
Angela's status for this season is what?
I don't know. I don't know. And I talk a lot. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't know.
No problem. You mentioned Kaisha a little bit, the ability for her to come back and for Vanessa to come back at the capacities that they did, obviously on the wearing together uniform, but just what emotions or thoughts go through your head seeing both of them in that?
Well, I kind of addressed Kaisha. I never wanted her to leave. I wanted her to get better. I wanted her to stay with us. But she made a decision for herself, and it's worked out for her. She's had good success there, and I'm really happy for her. And they're going to win there. They're going to win a lot of games as they go through this year. And she's going to be an important part of their team, and I'm happy for her. From a Vanessa Abel standpoint, there's nobody better. What we have here, what we've created here, Vanessa is a very important building block of the success that we have had. Vanessa is like a daughter to me. I love Vanessa to death, and I'm so glad that she was able to come back. I'm hoping the next time that she comes back, she's a member of our coaching staff. But for that to happen, somebody has to leave, and I hope that doesn't happen, though. I like my staff an awful lot. But hopefully one day, Vanessa will be able to join us again.
Last one I have for you. I know that I know not to ask you about the next opponent, but in your experience, when you're scouting for a game that after a win that's maybe a day or two away, how do you maybe go about that? Do you scout 2 at the same time?
You do. So we have the scout done for Central Connecticut State. I have not looked at that at all. That's what I will do first thing in the morning. I'm not going to look at it tonight. I'll look at it first thing in the morning. Nothing's going to change between midnight and 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I do know that Central Connecticut is a very physical team. It's going to be a very physical game, and that's why I was trying to manage our minutes a little bit better than what I did. I wish I would have played some people a little bit more and some other people a little bit less to manage our minutes, because when we get to Saturday, we have to take care of business and we have to protect ourselves and make sure that we come out of there injury free.